Hey everybody, this is Grace, and pardon the way I'm doing my videos, but during the pandemic I've been doing most of my videos like this, too noisy in the house, and I'm not going anywhere, mainly. And anyway, today is July 18th, 2020, and in this video, lately, in this video I'm going to talk about kind of what I call narcissistic histrionic blend in people. But first I want to say this, because of the pandemic and all, and stay at home, and I'm in Texas, north of Dallas, and right now the numbers are, I don't know what they are today, but they've been climbing, and I always thought that they reopened too soon, it went too fast and that, reopening stuff, and so they're kind of dialing back. We're under, I think most places now, I could be wrong, in the United States, are under where they have to wear masks. They're mandatory, unless you're not with anybody. I'm in my SUV by myself right now, so you can understand me. Anyway, if you're out in public, kind of thing. I don't know exactly how they word it, but anyway, I have been doing this for so long, since March, beginning part of March, I guess. And it's, like I said, July. And before then, I had fallen in February, on February 9th, and hurt my knee really bad, my left knee. And I wasn't able to go much. And I was just then starting to get out to be able to go places whenever we heard this about, we heard more, kind of a warning, and, stock up for at least 2 weeks kind of thing, when I had to do that. But every day, now I'm a homemaker, and even before then, Adam was working at work then. Since sometime in March, he's been working from home, but every day before that, many days, it felt like Groundhog Day. But back then, I could go places to shake up the day a little bit, but since, like I said, early March or so, no. And even though he's been working from home, that made quite a bit of difference, really. But other than that, every day was really feeling like Groundhog Day. I still get this feeling, like, is it a new day? Oh, it's already time to go to bed again. Oh, it's time to wake up. And I know I'm not the only one. I do know I'm not alone in all that. And but I thought it was more like the last 2 weeks, but it's only been less than a week, according to what I saw. But I had this urge to stop making videos like this and instead make PowerPoint videos. Now, I've done that in the past, and I'd go through a little, a couple, 2 or 3 days, I don't know how long, and I'd make videos on PowerPoint, writing them out and just putting music behind it. And I've done that over the past, I don't know how many years. And but I thought this time was a little odd. And I had such a strong urge to write stories, or just videos and stories. Like I said, I was thinking it was past couple weeks maybe, but when I looked on my cell phone, on my account, it seemed like I started doing it about 6 days ago, the first one. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I uploaded every one of them when I wrote them, and I have more than one channel, so it's on more than one channel. And I just felt like saying that because what I really realized is I've got to shake up the days. I've known that before because I've been a homemaker. I think I've been a homemaker since early 2017. I've been in the past, of course, too, but really this time, gotta shake up the day. I don't think that works for everybody. It does for me. Some people, routine might be the best thing. There are all kinds of ways, for people to not feel so much like Groundhog Day. Yeah, I might wind up making this video a separate one onto itself because it's already at 4 minutes. Just talking about this stuff. But yeah, maybe I should. But I do want to get back to talking about this with narcissistic histrionic blend, because so much has happened. Even though I don't see people I know, I have not seen people I know in a really long time, besides Adam, And I don't know when it was the last time we did. We had, it was before the pandemic, when we saw some people, saw people we knew, just put it that way. His family members come with them. But we were already feeling isolated. But, we see our neighbors and we know them and that kind of thing. But I'm talking about, people, family or friends or something on the line. But still, things go on, whether people turn to online and things happen online. And in my life, in my experience, seriously, it's mainly those ones that are the bad people in my life. They're this narcissistic histrionic blend. That's what I say. Not diagnosed with either one of those. I don't know anybody who's been diagnosed with either one of those. But their behaviors always stick out. They really do. So now I do want to make this comment. I hope nobody take offense. And I think in the past, maybe not anyone on YouTube, but on a different service, apparently, well, maybe it was on YouTube, took offense to what I say, talk about about histrionic behaviors that I've seen in people. Now, I'm not the one who wrote the DSM. I'm not even a contributor. My degrees are in psychology and sociology. But, yeah, my experience with people like that, it's in there somewhere in the DSM, on histrionic, their behaviors. Or you could hear people talk about them, whatever. I've seen it. And I've both in the DSM and all that. But to some of the ones that I feel I've seen, just, okay, not, well, anyway, let me get to this. Okay. It's this way they dress, the way they behave, speak. That one is pretty much across the board with them. But the others' behaviors, and not all of them do the same thing. But what I don't want to offend people is because I say things like the way they dress is just so loud. They talk really loud and all that. And you can see it from their head to their toe, some of them. Just because you are like that doesn't make it a histrionic behavior. Okay? It doesn't. Maybe some would say it is a histrionic behavior, but you're not a histrionic person just because you have that one behavior. Do that. There's so much more, and I can't even explain how much more there is to diagnosing somebody with a personality disorder or their behaviors of, the behaviors, you can read it. You say, okay, yeah, I know people like that. And one of the things that I've noticed more than one person, especially my age, I'm going to say around in the 50s and up, is hair color. Okay? Just because you have your hair color, a wild color, I've known more than one person that I had done it at one point in my life, had more than one hair color. Different blends of colors and likes to change their hair. That doesn't make it, that you're a histrionic just because you do that. I used to do my hair for a good chunk of my life. Like in the wintertime, I'd have my hair is naturally, when I was a kid, it was blonde. As I got older, it got darker, seriously, until I got to the point of being old enough that it started changing to more gray. But I would change mine to the fall, winter, the cooler months. It would be the brownish but with auburn highlights, tints, highlights, however you say it where you are. But in the in the summertime, it would be blonde streaks. That's what we used to call them, highlights. Yeah, and quite often it was natural. Just I'd go out in the sun and poof, there it was. But I would also do it, that way. It was just my thing. Okay, for a while. And now, not so much anything. Really, I'm doing good to cut my hair. But, okay, some people do this. But with histrionic people that I have noticed, and I'm not an expert on this, I'm an expert on the ones I've seen. You can read about it, you can read it in the DSM, like I said. But it's a total package. Okay, when they're younger, they like to be very provocative, with the way that they dress, and it's not a one-size-fits-all, then they might not do that. But usually, it can be both males and females, and very provocative, very suggestive in the way they dress and the way they act, and or. Okay, you get the gist. It's not always the same. Okay. Okay, and what I've noticed is when they get older, they just kind of like, and I know I've gotten negative view about this, negative feedback in person. They don't dress age appropriate when they're older. And believe me, I don't know how many years ago, it was before making videos. I think it was like online somewhere, or maybe it was in person, like I said. I said that, and they said, well, what is age appropriate? There's no such thing. And yeah, there is. Okay, when you're in your 50s and you're dressing like you're in your 20s, there's a difference. And yeah, there is. I remember an experience I had with a woman that was supposed to be there. She was supposed to be helping me. And instead, she was in her 50s and I was in my 40s, and she told me I needed to dress more like I was in my 20s. I was like, no, crazy bitch, I'm not. With her, I didn't like her all around, so I called her a crazy bitch. I'll call a guy a crazy bitch if he acts like one. But yeah, I'm not usually one to cuss. But anyway, but her whole attitude was that I was wrong because I didn't dress like I was in my 20s. No. My view, and not just my view, is when you dress like you're in your 20s and your 50s and so, no. I'm a to each their own kind of person, but when it's this combination that I'm mentioning, yeah. Anyway, I'll move on. Okay, they're also very loud in the way they speak. The ones I know. And their voices have to be heard. They have to be the center of attention anyway. They don't care if it's negative attention or positive attention, as long as it's attention. And they're very loud. Like you go into a restaurant, I use this example quite often. Like before the pandemic, you go into a sit-down restaurant. I'll call it that way. And they're so loud with the way they speak that, and then they laugh. It's a cackle. That's what I call it. Very loud. And other diners in the restaurant will look over at your table like, can't they shut her up or shut him up? That's rude. It is rude. Nobody wants to be in a restaurant and hear somebody, cackling and talking so loud that it interrupts. They can't even hear their own conversation. But the ones I know, that some of them, yeah, they're like that, and they don't care. They're getting attention on them. And then to them, it's everybody else's fault. Everybody else has a problem. It's in them, because they will play the victim. They will play the victim. And but like I said, from their head to the toes, they wear a lot of bling. Okay, the ones I know, a lot of bling, and they might even bedazzle. Wear a lot of bedazzled shirts. I guess they still call it that. And like I said, when they're older, like me, and it's all unusual. It's all outside of the ordinary, and they know that. They want that. They want it all. They might wear like a bandana. A woman, bandanas on their head, and these days a lot of people wear bandanas with the pandemic. Yeah, around their face for face covering. CDC.gov has good ideas about how to do all that. Not me. I'm not the expert. But yeah, they're just loud. Okay, loud appearance and all that. Now, like I said, I don't want to offend anybody, because if that's your thing, some people, they do, like one, I think it was online, said that they do it for creative artistic. Well, okay, that's your thing. But like I'm pointing out, and I point out in videos, it's not, that's it. If you do that, then therefore, no. Okay, it's not that simple. Okay. Okay. But the ones that I know that are the ones that really bother me, they have to be, it's the whole thing of, you have to add in this, they have to be center of attention. And they will embarrass you, do whatever, They don't care what's going on with you. They don't care what happens to you. As long as they're getting that attention, they'll try to take it from you. Whatever way, shape, form, or fashion they can, they will take it from you. Okay, they don't care if, like, I've seen it as much as, like at a funeral, wanting the attention so bad that they'll do anything to get it. You know, it was, I'm not even sure if I would call it exactly that, but if you've ever been to a funeral, funeral, and that person is dressed inappropriately and is acting like a hostess to get that attention. Yeah, that could get worse, But like, if something's really bad going on with you, they'll give you like a moment to shine, and then after that, they're going to turn it back around to them, because they can't be on you too long. These are also the types that will do that thing, the smear campaign, of course, behind your back. You don't even have any clue what's going on, because whatever they're telling everybody, you didn't do in the first place, and you're not in their mind, and thank goodness. When they create some story about you, they come up with all kinds of weird crap. Again, crap was not the word I almost said, but yeah, they come up with all kinds of things that's just crazy, and over years, seriously, I have experienced this. They will, the people you grew up with, family members, whatever, or just people you grew up with, the town you're like, what's the word? Not shunned. In a way, like shunned. You ostracized. You go back there, and then you get alienated. But you try to go back to your old town or old hometown or old, wherever you grew up, and they have done such a horrible smear campaign on you that you had no clue of, and like I said, you didn't do this stuff anyway, that people hate you. They were there and they made everybody hate you. And these are vicious people. They can be very vicious people. Okay, but anyway, I do want to get back to talking about this, because of the way that my life has been. If I don't have a vent, I vent, and my pressure release valve, has, these days, I guess starting 5 or 6 years ago, my original YouTube channel I started 6 years ago next month, and then I started one that I usually used to vent, kind of thing, about these kinds of things, because I have to vent. And before that, it was in writing, like online. People just sum it up as blogs. If I don't vent, this stuff just eats at me. And when I was a child, 10 years old at least, I was writing a diary for that purpose. Handwritten diary, paper diary is what they call them these days, I think. But I was writing those just to get that out of my system, because I knew it when I was a child. That I was seeing these kinds of things, and but I do want to get back to that. And it's not, none of mine are about just one person. Okay, it's not just about one person, and or what any, this is not. I have seen these since I was a child, and they're very theatrical. If you watch any of my videos, I'm not a very theatrical person, which is kind of funny because I do videos. I'm not a person that needs that attention or anything like that. So it is kind of funny that I do videos, but I do them for that purpose of venting. The attention, no, not so much. You don't see me on video. I've been on video. You see me every blue moon, once a year. Usually I have this, it's kind of like that, writing those, writing on PowerPoint. I'll get back online and, show my face and everything. But it's usually just a few videos and it's done. Okay. And for the year. But I don't have to have all that attention on me, But I vent. And whether my venting helps some other people or not, it does. If it does, it does. But I'm not here to give anybody any advice, counseling, and I could be wrong. It says it, I believe, in my description below this video on YouTube. You know, just sharing. Other people, well, I'm not really just sharing, but you see, I got a vent. Because these people, they will do, oh my goodness, they will do things that really ruin your life. And, yeah, I think that might have been one of the reasons. No, I don't think so. But I'll strike that. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, they will definitely alter your life. Seriously. I mean, you don't know. How do you know that it wouldn't have been like that in the first place? Well, no. I mean, do you really, you know, it's not that you go out to find this type. And it's not that you're attracted to this type. You're not to blame. I don't like that blaming the victim kind of crap people do. You know, there's something about you that they're, you know, that they come after. It's not that either. These are people who do it to anybody. Okay, it actually could be something that is really good about you. Something starting in childhood. You know, maybe you're really smart or you're really creative. You could be both. Something about you that others notice, others see, and that person, that, say it's another child. You know, I don't usually talk about children, so my experience is this is coming from my experiences when I was a child. They just get jealous. That attention has to be on them even then. I don't think they diagnose anybody with any kind of personality disorder until they're adults. I'm not sure. But it's like just growing up with somebody like that, it's going to take all the attention away from you and back onto them. So the things about you, you know, that are you, they'll steal those. Still they're part of your persona if other people like it, or if they just like it. Yeah, so they alter your life. They alter what others, you know, they'll do the smear campaign too, but they alter how people see you. So you don't know how your attachments would have turned out if they hadn't ruined them for you so they could get all the attention. You see what I'm saying? So many things that they do. This doesn't cover it. You know, the people I know I'm talking about. And just, like I said, you can go and read the DSM yourself about histrionic personality disorder. Like I said, this is not diagnosing anybody, and I don't know anybody who's been diagnosed with it. But the behaviors, I've seen plenty. But yeah, I think this is helping me just to vent this a little much. You know, maybe I will just put it all together as one video, because I went on, go with the flow. Okay, maybe I should go back to this part about being very theatrical. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I've actually seen some, you know, that can mean many things, really. I mean, there are many ways, I guess, that they can be theatrical. But I've seen some that really do act as if they're on stage. You know, that kind of theatrical. Very, you know, they're on stage and they even might say it, you know, say it out. But, you know, it can be a little funny if it weren't for the rest of the stuff. But I remember when I was, of course, when I was younger, not too much younger, I tried to switch careers and, you know, kind of thing. And I worked as an activity director / life enrichment director. I started off doing it as volunteer, and somebody suggested, you know, I should just try to do it myself. And I tried. In senior living communities. I liked working with elderly people. I liked being around elderly people. But the rest of the stuff going on, and it was in more than one, yeah, people said, you know, when I was taking the classes for it, the instructor said, you know, told the whole class, you'll need to go from 1 to 1 until you find the one that's best for you. She was not at all wrong. No, I understood why she said that. Oh boy. But anyway, during that, you could hear people, you know, it wasn't just the activity directors, but sometimes, mainly I'd say, but they would go around singing and dancing and stuff like that. And at first I was like, this is very weird. You're at work at a new place, and you know, people are going around just singing. They pass you in the hall, they're singing, you know, and some dancing to their own music kind of thing. Or sometimes they'd have music and dance to that. I did that. Not really dance, but yeah, but you know, then I got in the groove of it, and that was kind of, you know, part of it. But I've known people to just break out in song. Have you ever known people to bring out in song? I had said, and I'll probably say this again sometime in my lifetime, that I had never seen that before, but I had seen that before. You know, you don't remember everything as you get older, maybe any time. But yeah, I had known someone who would just break out in song at jobs, wherever, didn't care, just broke out in a song. And someone said, well, that's a really happy person. If it weren't an evil person that has to have the attention on them, and if somebody is paying attention to you at that moment, they're going to break into song, they're going to act theatrical to get the attention back on them. See what I'm saying? There's a difference. But what is the purpose of them doing that? Like in senior living communities, you know, sometimes the purpose is to entertain. You know, you're walking through a hall. That was, for me, and elderly people, that some of them actually told me one place that they sit there right in the middle to watch me and this guy. Whenever we passed one another, we would sing, dance, and stuff like that. They said that was their purpose for sitting there, to watch us. You know, and it made them feel good. And they saw that we were happy. They felt happier. That kind of thing. Now, there's the people like that, and then there are people like I just mentioned. They want the attention back on them. So, anyway, I probably should wrap this up, because I do want to talk about, you know, this more. And it, like I said, it's not going to be just about one person. And these are people who will think that it is. You know, they're so vain that, yeah, but they think that everything is about them, and it's not. You know, and there are a lot of people like this. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. I'll talk to you on another video.